zoomed out on a Bitcoin chart, everybody. This video I'm going to break down from another new perspective, new data, bringing into the cycles of crypto that suggest that the parabolic bull is very much in play, very much getting ready to happen. I'm going to show you within 10 minutes. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, and let's just jump into it. I'm talking about the US dollar currency index chart. You start zooming in. This is a weekly chart, by the way. You could just see it's been falling. You're going to start seeing headlines about this. You might have already seen headlines about this, but what I want to talk about is the zoomed out, the story that's playing out here. Now, obviously, interest rate, if the Fed is going to be cutting interest rates, which they are going to be cutting interest rates, the dollar is going to become just less attractive for yield, right? So it makes sense that it's falling now, and it could continue falling as interest rates start getting lowered, right? Other economic indicators. We have also general technical analysis when you're just looking at this chart. People look at charts. Traders look at charts. And so we also have the sentiment factor. Just like we have sentiment, fear and greed on Bitcoin and crypto, on risk-on assets, the US dollar index, this chart, DXY, also has that. There's a lot playing into this. And what I want to do in this video is really break down how it's playing into the Bitcoin charts. And I'm excited because as we discuss this crypto bull cycle, the parabolic bull cycle, that is potentially getting ready to happen. I have to say potentially, none of us know. We all want it to. We all think if history repeats, we get another just consistent cycle. We are at that time frame for blast off. No guarantees though, everybody. We have to be so careful. And this is just me tracking the data. And this video obviously is the good data for this move. But let's discuss. And before we talk about the DXY data and how it plays into the Bitcoin chart, because I think it's very compelling, I just want to lay some groundwork here. You know that I talk so much about the Bitcoin bull market doors. It's very simply, if you haven't seen my videos on it over the years, it's a bull market high to bear market low Fibonacci. And a Fibonacci is just this retrace area that Bitcoin goes to. It could be on a weekly chart like this one, a macro. It could be a zoomed in hourly chart. You have these setups all the time. It's a swing high to swing low, and just this pullback to this green area that I track. That's a 618 to 786 range. It's a resistance area. And on the macro, I call this the bull market doors because when Bitcoin breaks that area, it is a powerful bullish indicator. Now, over the cycles, this indicator has gone off, right? So here's 2017 high to bear market low 2018. There's that green area, and you can actually see there's Bitcoin breaking the bull market doors right there. If you've been watching my videos, you already know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So what I did was in the previous two cycles, I pretty much just marked those bull market doors being broken. And this has everything to do with the US dollar index that I'm about to show you. And you can just see here it is back in 2017, breaking that green area to the upside. And just notice, I put a purple line there for each cycle. And just notice, those last two cycles, it was around 200 days after the Bitcoin halving, this yellow line, that Bitcoin broke those bull market doors. We know Bitcoin broke the bull market doors before the halving this cycle. And we're not even 200 days past Bitcoin halving yet. So Bitcoin moving at a velocity in which we've never seen. I think this is a very good bullish indicator, but this is why we're getting some consolidation right now. So that's some good context. That 200-day mark, right? That purple line after the yellow line, which is the Bitcoin halving, gives us a sense of these previous bull cycles, the parabolic move, when it happened. So we still have some time from that perspective alone. But then I went to the US dollar index chart and I was like, you know what? Let me just kind of overlay that data on this chart. And I'm pretty sure I have the halvings in the right spot. It might be off by a week or some days, but this is generally the same exact chart overlaid on the US dollar index. Now, if we're looking at it, we have Bitcoin halving in blue, Bitcoin halving in blue, most previous Bitcoin halving in blue, and then we have 200 days or so after Bitcoin halving. Now, the question is, what was the US dollar index doing when Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin chart here, was making this move, the bull market door move, the post Bitcoin halving parabolic move around 200 days later? What was the US dollar chart doing? And this is what we're looking at. If you go back a couple cycles to this purple line, this was 2017, US dollar index getting ready to fall and actually was already beginning to fall into that kind of purple line area, right? So it was already topping out. It was beginning to fall, testing the 20-week moving average, and then it continued to fall even more. And this is the bull market for Bitcoin back then. Remember, this purple line is Bitcoin breaking the bull market doors. Bitcoin starts going up, US dollar going down. This is what it looks like. And here we have the end of the bull market. It's around 500 days after this area, the bull market, the Bitcoin halving, right? So there's the end of the bull market. Here's the parabolic move through the bull market doors. And that's what the bull market looks like on the US dollar chart. Interesting. Now we go to the next cycle, which was last cycle, essentially. Here's the Bitcoin halving. You can see US dollar index kind of consolidating at the Bitcoin halving area. And then shortly after starts falling into this purple line. And this is, again, the purple line when Bitcoin broke the bull market doors. If we just take a glance on the chart, here it is, Bitcoin making that powerful move. Here's the US dollar index. What's happening during that powerful move for Bitcoin? It's falling around 200 days after the Bitcoin halving. And notice it continued to consolidate sideways, up even. We had a move on the US dollar index up. This was still during the Bitcoin bull market, right? And here's the top of the crypto bull market over here on this chart, around 500 days after the Bitcoin halving. Now here we are, this cycle. And I just can't help but look at this chart and think, you know what? The economic indicators are suggesting that the US dollar index could very certainly fall. Interest rates are getting ready to be lowered. We are in an environment where this can happen. The US dollar could just fall. And right now, the timing of that, right between the Bitcoin halving and this 200-day area from previous cycles, the timing of this is crazy. Is Bitcoin certainly going to fall right now? I don't know. Maybe we get a bounce. And we test these moving averages on the weekly. We have to take into account the technical analysis here, but maybe it retests these moving averages back at 104 area. And then we're falling into the blue line. And then we get a powerful move for Bitcoin. I don't know if it's in the very short term, days away, or weeks, or even some months, but we are there. And I really think as we zoom out on a Bitcoin chart, we've been looking at so many different pieces of data. This US dollar index chart is just one piece of data that plays into this Bitcoin chart. And I'll mention this, time frame wise, where we are. We're not even at the 200-day mark after the Bitcoin halving when that parabolic move for Bitcoin typically occurs. And when we talk about 500 days or so after Bitcoin halving, that brings us into, 2025. This is like over a year away. I think there's a powerful year in store for Bitcoin and for crypto. This is the roadmap. This is more data, the US dollar index. I don't know. I really just don't, everybody. I'm simply here. I'm not trying to spread hopium, but obviously this would be a really good setup for a crypto bull market. And I'm just here tracking that. But I say time and time again, and I don't want it to happen. I sit here and I'm like, man, I hope it don't. I hope crypto doesn't fall. I hope we get another parabolic bull run right now. A lot of people are kind of expecting it. And that's a little weird. But I think the same thing was happening last cycle because of the consistencies of these cycles. We have to prepare for everything. This is just some more data I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you cruising through. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And also, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Your support does mean a lot to me as I continue doing these videos. So I appreciate you cruising through. Have a good day, and God bless.